Alright, so I'm stoked, get my brand new Neptune Apex, hook it all up. It's making these little noises and whatnot. I'm watching on the app and I'm looking, alright, like what's it gonna tell me about my water parameters? And next thing I know, I'm looking at the top row where it says testing calcium magnesium, and there's a red line there saying something like no water sample. And I'm going like, all right, what the hell could that mean? And why is it red? So I'm waiting, thinking, all right, it's probably priming, or piece of smart equipment here doing its thing, and watching, and nothing's happening, and no water samples. So I'm like, what the hell? So I start looking it up and I realize, like, oh crap, like red line at the top, that means it's an error code and there's no water sample. So I get into the cabinet, I open the Neptune Trident up, and I'll show you guys what I found. I'm looking at the Trident, trying to figure it out. I checked that both the sample and wastewater lines were clear. They were, and when I pulled out the tray, then I noticed there was reagent all on the floor here. And then when I looked back, I saw there was that blue colored reagent also dripping from somewhere on this manifold. So I thought, we'll take it apart and see if I can find the issue and fix it. So to take off this main cover, you grab these feet. They're rubber feet, and they're actually also the screws. You just grab them and unscrew them by hand. You pull out all four of them. Alright, next you're going to pull the cover off, and the way it comes apart, it just spreads open like this to get these tabs out of their holes. Alright, so after tinkering a little bit, you'll see that what's going on here. Actually, let's start there. These five white, they're valves, control all these tubes, and they run into this manifold right here. And this is your pump, and the pump spins forward and backwards. So what's happening is these valves open and close the lines. This pump turns on or off, and that's the way that this machine is able to switch between the three reagents and filling up this testing vial here with the sample water and the reagents and all that. So when you're looking at these valves here, you can depress a button on the valve, and if you have your Trident at home and you're watching, if you watch down the tube, when you press that, it actually releases pressure on the tube, and instead of pinching the tube off, it allows the tube to open. So one thing you'll notice is right on my manifold, tube number, or valve number 4 is not quite connected to the manifold anymore. What I was looking at is all the tubes and how well they were seated on the manifold, and I saw that number 4 was, maybe half on the manifold. So I depressed the button on the valve for number 4, and I gave the tube just a small pull, and it just came right off. So I'm not sure if this is the root cause. This could have been a line where there's a plug downstream and it got pushed off the manifold, or it could also be that this line didn't have a good connection with the manifold and just kind of fell off. So we'll do some testing here to figure out if it's the cause or not. Okay, upon initial testing, I just blew into the line. This number 4 valve line is connected to the wastewater output here, and I blew through it so it's clear. So I'm just going to try reconnecting it and set things up, kind of more like mock things up, like put it all back together but without this cover on. I'm going to try to run a test and see if I can see any leakage or seepage, drips, drops, any of that. My fingers are too fat to slide the tube back on, so I got some tools that'll help me grab this number 4 tube and slide it back on the manifold here. know if you can see, but it's back on now. It's all the way on. And one other thing I did is I pressed all the buttons on the remaining valves, and some of them were a little sticky. And I wonder if it's because this unit it sat on the shelf for a while without being used. So hopefully that fixed it. But let me give it a shot and see.